Hi everyone. Today I want to make a video about this mess of wires. I'm just kidding. We are talking about the L293D DC Motor Controller. I hope I get the name right. This thing has 8 pins on each side, and the best way to explain it is to take you to the computer, which I will do, promise. Now, this is going to go to my next project, which is here, and it's going to be coming on the channel soon, hopefully, finger crossed. The best way is I want to show you this in action. So you have a DC motor here. You can control in which direction it spins. So you can change the direction that the DC motor spins using this thing here. How do you do it? That's what we're going to explain on the computer. I also put this on a breadboard, so hopefully this makes it easier to understand. They do not have a Raspberry Pi on the Tinkercad, so these 8 pins are kind of a representation of a Raspberry Pi pins. This basically ground, power, and then just a regular GPIOs. Also, I just realized that my mouse is not being captured in this screen recording, so I'm not sure why. I'll try to figure that out. Really sorry about that. All right, now we're on the computer. I went to Google Images and I searched for L293D diagram, and I got some pictures. I'm going to use this one for the purpose of this video. Let's see if we can open this in a separate tab. That looks good. The first thing I want to point out is this notch. This kind of determines the orientation of the IC. Now let's look at these pins. Let's start with the easy stuff. So these 4 are the ground pins. They would go to your battery or power supply ground. And it's worth mentioning here that your ground from the Raspberry Pi will also connect to the ground from your power supply. Now let's take a look at since we already connected the ground, let's take a look at the positive, which is this one here, pin 8. And this is going to go to the plus on your power supply. This here is going to go to the 3.3 volt on your Raspberry Pi. Let's see what else we have. Since we have 2 sides, each side have an enable. So let's highlight these in blue so we can talk about these. This guy and this one here. So 9 and 1. This one will enable this side and this output, basically. This one will work on this side. If it's turned on, these output will work. If it's off, this output won't work. Same applies here. Next, I want to go to the DC motor, and that usually connects here. So you have plus and minus, and this is your second DC motor. So that's the output. Next, let's look at these 2 input. And that's kind of the tricky part, or this is what makes this works. So let's put a green color for these input. And the way these works is by setting, if they're both off, so both input, in this case, input 1, input 2, are both off, your DC motor will be completely off. If you turn this guy on and this guy is off, then the motor will spin in one direction. If you turn this off, turn this on, that's how you spin it in the other direction. So that's how you control in which direction your DC motor is spinning using these input pins and connecting them to a GPIO, obviously, and then turning one of them on and the other one off, and vice versa will change the direction of your DC motor. Same applies here on this side. Now I want to go to the Tinkercad and attempt to kind of draw this. This is the IC that we're talking about. Once again, let's pay attention to the orientation. This is the DC motor. I'm just going to worry about enabling one side in this case. This is going to represent our Raspberry Pi GPIOs for now. And then this is our power supply or battery. So again, this pin here goes to the positive. All these four go to the ground, and the ground of the Raspberry Pi goes to the ground as well. Just outside of the ground is your DC motor connection. This is the 3 volt or 5 volt from your Raspberry Pi. And then these will be your GPIOs. So this will be the enable GPIO. This will be the input to indicate the direction for the GPIO. Why don't we change these colors to green like we did on the other sketch? And then I think we did blue for this one here. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching.